Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's January 10th. For our chief and council meeting. So we will be in public until 11:40 and then in camera for the rest of the day. And I'll we'll call the meeting to order. Do the adoption of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions of the agenda? No. Don't see any. So can I get a mover for the agenda? Moved by Crystal, seconded by Wendy. All in favor? Carried. Meeting minutes from December 13th.
It's what?
50.
50? 55 there.
Okay, action item. Zawad to initiate discussion with more than health and school districts and implement stage and develop a program plan for the next year, including annual calendar and activities. We want to focus on creative stuff and structure for the program. While continue exploring opportunities for additional funding and support for the community grants and funding office. So that is into the next action item is for Zawad for draft email to guidelines regarding raising of bridge funding, highlighting the ministry and which ministry it should go to. That was the next one, number 3, would be Gbenga. Contact Chelsey and Malcolm. This says I think that was done. Gbenga again. Welcome to review the policy Traplines until the next council meeting.
It is done, so we got it yesterday.
Okay. Next one, Chilton. Gather more data regarding community control. There's no timeline given to that, so that's ongoing. Next item, number 6, is still ongoing. Number 7. If for the hotel, so it's done. Number 7 is done. Number 8. Number 8 is done.
Okay.
Yep. The rest is in camera. Can I get the adoption for the meeting minutes for December 15th?
I would go.
Oh, moved by Wendy. Second by Kyle. All in favor? Motion carried to accept the minutes. So the first one on board that we have would be Derek. Good morning. So, you guys have the floor till 10:50.
Things, start with the public works budget. So, starting.
Yep, you guys have the table.
Just my laptop. Session everything. Can we start with this BCR then, since we're constrained on time? This is to cover the $141,000 funding gap for the multiplex project that the motion was carried last chief and council meeting to add this to the overall funding from the nation, because we can't get forgivable loan amounts from two agencies. So we the higher forgivable loan amount from ISC and chose to cover the fund gap for the CMHC portion. Forgivable loan amount. Does that make sense? Okay. So this
$141,000.
yeah, so that's additional, yes,
The 1 and 2.
on top of the 2.5 million that contributed to the project.
That the meeting that we had before.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Fantastic. Okay, all right. So housing and public works budget review. So this is where everything sits currently. We're negative $212,000 in housing, and that comes from here's what the program codes. So 522 renovation project, $43,000 over there. That was the housing renovation project that was started when it came on. That included the triplex and stuff like that. Right. So I just finished the triplex and then stopped spending anything out of that account. CMHC social housing 95. Again, over 56 on that. That is section 95. Yeah. So those are the houses still owned by CMHC. And then supplemental funding for renovation that hasn't been used in a while. So that's just a kind of a dormant account. Vandal rent, that's where the majority of the repairs and stuff are done. And we'll look at that, but we're 205 there. Housing accelerator fund, I haven't spent anything out of that. So that's kind of just static right now. And the tiny homes project, we have one more payment to make, so we'll be a little bit over budget on that. So there's 42,000 left in that account, but the final payment to Freeport was 65,000. I didn't anticipate $6,000 cost in hydro and new transformer or the craning of the houses. So that was overlooked by me. So that's what we'll be over budget on that particular program by the end of the year. And then 902 is just a, I don't really know where that account came from, so I try not to spend anything out of it, and that's just where it's sitting, 50,000.
Yeah, so that program was related to set up a housing committee.
Oh, okay.
Housing planning. So sometime in 2021 it came through.
Oh, okay. All right. So then I'll look to use that this year to set up a housing committee. Moving forward, I got everything broken down by, let's see here. So the housing renovation. Sorry, I was expecting that to be a little bit bigger, but we're, like I said, $43,000 over, and that's all from fixing the triplex, the renovations that we did on that triplex unit when I first started, and then the siding and everything that got done on that. There was a contribution of $80,000 towards that project, but once everything was done, once I got in there and opened it up, things like holes in the floors and stuff, I just can't overlook. So I went ahead and got them fixed, but that's where we ended up. Yes.
Did you correct the mold in there?
Yes.
Okay, because I know there was bad mold in,
That was
in the back corner room and also in where the laundry area was.
So we spent $17,000 unexpectedly remediating the mold in that unit.
Oh, okay.
Senior C units. Again, just like 33,000 negative rental income. So that's, I'm putting out letters again this month for trying to get everybody back on their programs and stuff and get that back on track. That's fallen off track a little bit. That's my fault. I just haven't been paying enough attention to it. So hopefully that number will clear up next year, but the budget should kind of remain the same for next year. So we're not too far out. And then there was some unexpected repairs and things done through that program code. 527. That's the biggest one. So we did all like Kenora's place was done. The basement renovation was done at 1019. All the repairs to the 6 new homes through this account. So we budgeted $100,000 for repairs and maintenance, and I went over by I was $21,000 over that budget of $100,000.
You mentioned house names.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So here's the breakdown for 523 and 527, just kind of where the majority of funds went. So we spent $10,000 in appliances, or roughly $250 per household in appliances throughout the year. Consulting fees actually worked on by LTN for us in the neighborhood. Electrical work, equipment rental wasn't too bad. Insurance, a big part of that. Materials and supplies, again, not too bad. But repairs and maintenance, yeah, we had a $121,000 plus additional $10,000 through 523. So that brings us to $131,951 spent in repairs and maintenance and upgrades for homes across both sides. And then septic, I was not anticipating septic to be that much, but to get everything done, yeah. I under budgeted on septic. So, safety inspection, that's like having the stoves looked at and all that kind of stuff, wood stove swept and everything like that. That was a big portion. And then, of course, wages. Here's the housing accelerator fund. As that stands, again, I haven't spent anything out of that yet. Kind of plan is to not spend anything until the program is done, and then roll all of that into either infrastructure or building houses. Tiny home project, this is where that stands, and I covered that. So we got one more payment on that one yet. If you can explain that one for me. And then public works. Not too bad. I was really hoping that we could cut the casual labor budget down, so I budgeted $30,000 for casual labor, and I actually spent about $86,000. So almost we're on par with what we spent the year beforehand. So that was some optimistic budgeting on my part, but
Excellent. It will be helpful.
yeah.
So it shows the main costs in public works, and also we still have 3 months to go.
Yeah.
So out of that $18,000, almost $30,000 is supplemented by paid data. So
last year even we had casual labor expenditure like 120K. as far as the number. So yeah, your budget was very optimistic.
Yes.
Very.
Very.
Yeah, but actually everywhere else, we're under budget in how it works. So the labor throws me out on that one. And then this is kind of what I'm planning for having the rest of the year, or being able to complete the rest of the year, including my wages.
The only thing on this forecast, I will make a comment is, if we go by this forecast, that basically means that next 3 months we are not doing any renovations at all or any maintenances. Again, a little bit optimistic on in terms of maintenance. There might be some maintenance required, but I wanted to point out one thing. We were discussing that we have paused a few renovations for now, just because we are so over budget this year. We just wanted to wait until spring for this year and kind of start. And because another reason is like when we start doing something in one house, we kind of feel pressured from other people as well that they have something. And next year onward, we really look into prioritizing the work based on what works are actually needed to be. Some driveway repairs probably can wait, but a mold in a bathroom shouldn't, right? Those are differences. We'll make sure that we are prioritizing the work, just not whatever's coming first, whatever needs to be done first.
Been saying that for what, if I'm not mistaken, the maturity, there's 6 more units coming up as of July 1st. Did you guys get the funding for that yet to upgrade those 6 units before they mature out?
Working on that. We had just had our housing officer changed again. And then back to the
Yeah, because after that 6 units comes matured out, from my recollection, there would only be the 6 new units and the 3 left under 523. Plus, I don't know how you folded the new units.
Yeah, they're under 527 now.
Oh, okay. They're 527. Okay. So after July 1st, there'd only be 8 of us left on 523, if I'm not right. Not just curious at all, because usually we get that funding like a year or 6 months prior to the 7 day bill.
Oh, we follow up with the housing officer.
Okay.
Any other questions? So
basically, out of this presentation, we are hoping to get council's approval on the deficit and the forecasted amount.
Forecasted amount of
What?
total amount is by 110,000, right?
Little bit less than that, about 80K, because the 65,000 final payment to Freeport, we still have about $30,000 left in that account. So there will be about 25. So roughly 80,000.
80,000. So, Councilor, let me give you a breakdown. So, at the very beginning of the year, so the department submit the program budget for the next fiscal year and you approve. So, if the budget is within the limit, we keep it like we started from this fiscal year, so that if the budget is within the limit, then like we manage it ourselves. But if there is a situation like the program is running deficit or are going to running deficit, that means they need some supplemental funding or like supplemental funding or like council decision to push it for the next year.
Oh,
So this is the situation, like for housing and public works, like they need $80,000 to run through the completed additional $80,000 for the rest of the time of this fiscal year, like until March 31st. So they came forward like if council could kindly approve this $80,000 to run for the next 3 months.
So until the
March 30.
31st. Yeah, I don't see no issue, really, because, it is what it is, and it's actually improved over the years, when you think of it, like.
So I can tell you just one situation here. So the public work as well, last fiscal year we spent like 120K for the whole year. So as of December 31st, it is 80,000. That is not too bad. So that means like another 40,000 to go, like last fiscal year. So I anticipate that even I spend another $20,000 for the casual worker, $25,000. Still, there will be a favorable situation compared to last year for another $20,000. So the other part is like ancillary wages and materials. Yeah. So this is. Yeah, I would recommend council.
Yeah.
So motion for approximately $80,000 to hold housing and public works over till March 2025. Jeff, moved by Wendy, seconded by Josh, all in favor. Motion carries. Okay.
So the arguments still in there.
What?
So recycling BC contract. So a little bit of background or refresher. So we applied for solid waste management funding through SC, if you remember. We got a garbage truck and we got some money to run the program. We got the bills, big enough, but they are at least. And we have started doing garbages more than once per week so that it can be managed within the size of the bins and we can do more if needed. Now, the thing is, we wanted to start the recycling program as well on reserve, and we have confirmed funding from us for QPM for sorting facility, like where who will pick those up, sort those out, and take to the facility, and funding for one person to work part-time, or at least half of one person's full-time person's salary to go towards recycling activities and whatnot. The thing is, we need to enter into an agreement with Recycling BC to be a part of that. We are not big enough to have a transfer station over here. So instead of a transfer station, we will do, we'll pick up, we'll sort, and we will put those away in their facility. Now that comes with some risks and precautions from our end as well. So Derek will explain those, and we need everybody to be on board before we move into a direction like that.
Yes,
1 second.
How about like, because I know the Shelley dump. I remember asking that guy who's worked there for years, and I asked him, I said, how come you don't have the recycle bin here anymore? And he said that if they can find somebody to partner up with them to have that, to go ahead with the recycling again, they could. Because like you said, they're not large enough of an area or whatever in that size. So we have to take it either to the landfill or to that one on First. I think that's where we go now with the cardboard, plastic, and all that. And sometimes I get lazy and I feel guilty throwing my recycled in the garbage at Shelley. But yeah, he said that if they can come up with a plan within the community area, surrounding area. They said they did put a notice out to the surrounding area asking for any input or anything. So I don't know.
So readily I can comment on that from one perspective. This is part of an ISK program. So they will only work with the First Nation.
Okay.
So that is one thing.
Yeah.
But that being said, once we start working on it, if we run this successfully, there might be other opportunities opening up for us to have a transfer station for ourselves, even serving different communities. And that might be something we can look into in the future. But for now, Since everything's being funded by ESC, so we have to kind of keep it within the reserve for,
Okay, I
for
see.
this community only.
That would be good anyways, because I really don't like throwing, like every now and then I get lazy and I don't want to drive all the way around that place. And
That's actually kind of the biggest risk that we face is getting involved with this program. We have to be really diligent with the recycling that comes through, making sure there's no contamination, because there's penalties for us as an organization if we bring contaminated load, and then those penalties compound on top of each other. The more contaminated loads that we bring, to the point where they'll just discontinue the service and we'll be out. Right, so that's the biggest risk. There's a financial hardship if we're bringing contaminated loads, and we'll get fined for it. That'll be, just be a whole headache. Right, so it's going to have to be like if we come by and there's recycling that's contaminated, and our public folks are going to have to go through it a little bit to make sure, then we're just going to have to charge that and make sure that we're not putting any of that stuff into the recycling stream, and that'll just be more. Notices will have to go out to households like, hey, like if you're going to be a part of recycling, or if you recycle, you can't have pizza boxes with crusts in them and stuff like that. Kind of general stuff, and make sure your recyclables are washed out, all that kind of stuff. Right? It's pretty strict guidelines that they want us to abide by, that the community will then have to abide by.
In depth, excuse me, are you guys going to go with recycling? Like, are you using glass cans?
No,
I think
glass at this point.
Yeah, but glass. Yeah.
Everything but glass.
And
because glass is a little bit too difficult, and not styrofoam.
Yeah.
Because those things we have to kind of build capacity around before we can start those things. Another thing is if we start this, we will have about 3 months to kind of prepare. And at that point of time, we need to go around the community and maybe create some training workshop kind of thing where people need to come in. We need to communicate with them what can do and what can't go, really, because if we just start this and just tell them, hey, this is your recycling program, it might not be their fault at all. So we need to have some training sessions, some communication, and people have to buy in at the very end of the day. Like if they're not participating, then at some point we might even have to stop it. So we really have to try to get the buy-in. And like Derek said, one portion is financial penalties, but second portion, the biggest portion is if we continue to do this, they may not continue the contract with us, and we have to step out of it. And that basically means next time we can get enrolled, there will be a whole bunch of difficulties in front of us. So we have to make sure that we have your agreement going forward in this, and we will do everything possible to educate people, but at the end of the day, when it starts, we have to be very strict about it, because what cannot go, that cannot go.
Yeah, that, I agree with Zawad, because when we do our recycling, like, when you do the cardboard, we have to, like cardboard, like ordinary cardboard boxes that groceries come in and whatnot, that's okay, but if there's any kind of like film or wax on the cardboard, you can't put that with that. You have to put it in a different pile. So we have to sort even the cardboard when we go recycling, because if you throw that in with the regular cardboard, that's considered as contamination. So they're not Shelley when we should do it. They used to watch us, do it, and he was really strict with that. So because there could be 2 cardboard bins, one for just straight cardboard and one for mixed cardboard.
Is there going to be somebody hired full-time for this?
Depends. If we can find out funding for full-time on this one, then probably yes. Yeah. But initially our plan is, because that person needs to have enough training on this. We have already a couple of crews trained with its funding. So we have to start with them because they already have the training. We cannot hire somebody, wait for training, and then do that with that person. But potentially, plan is to make the garbage and recycling system to be a separate group, like a couple of people doing this, right? When we know for sure that it's running, right? And at that point of time, we can hire somebody permanently. But right now, since it is just part-time position, like part-time hours, 20 hours basically, we will be paying for, and we don't know if we can sustain in the system in 6 months or a year. We know, yes, everything's going on fine, then potentially we will hire somebody. That's
Now,
the plan.
are we gonna have our own bins here for that person to go through? Like, if they collect them all, put all the plastics in one, is that person gonna go to those bins and make sure that all the bottles are washed out, just in case member throws them in?
When they are picking up and doing the sorting, that's what they're supposed to do.
Oh,
And sorting will have the cube van, because they'll be doing that sorting and stuff and expecting it in there. And taking, every household will have 3 large bags that are about yay tall, and they will sit next to each other. And then we'll pick those up. They'll go into the cube van, we'll sort that through the cube van, and then go on to the next house.
kind of like what they do in town with those bins. You mean like, you know what they do in town? They have those blue recycle bins.
Yes, we'll have a bag that'll be about this tall, and then it'll be blue, red, green, and yellow.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Little bit different than what we see in town in Prince George.
Mhm.
It's done through Cheddar.
Oh, okay.
And we are doing it through Recycle BC. So every different organization, there are 3 organizations that do it in BC. So every organization has some differences in their operation.
Oh,
And based on how much you can do, like how much sorting capacity you have, whether or not your things are directly going to a transfer station or those are being sorted first,
mhm.
we can do certain things.
Nice, okay. Maybe.
I think we should say
I have a
question.
No,
What's your feeling? Should we go about it?
I kind of like it.
I think so. Is it cut down on garbage?
Yeah, because it does cut down on the garbage, because my garbage, like real garbage is like less than a bag in a week or 2 weeks, right? If I recycle, if I take the time, I haven't, I'll be honest, I haven't recycled since they took it away, but it's, my garbage is like 2 or 3 bags now. And it's like, I don't like that.
Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll take signature here. Signature comment. We want that, so we didn't wait to clear it off on everybody.
I read through
Not gonna ask you from.
Are you sure you read every line? There's no hidden clause?
Yes, please. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
It's schedule, right? You don't see much of it regarding this one.
Now I can start recycling.
Yeah, it's just the financial stuff.
I do once in a while, but every now and then I get lazy and I don't want to. I have to drive all the way around the other way and I don't like much of driving.
And then I just wanted to let you guys know that I'll be sending out the letters today or Monday morning for housing policy violations and stuff. We'll talk about in the last meeting. I just want to give you guys a heads up that. That's it as well. Okay.
Just a little bit of refresher. In last council meeting, we discussed to hold off the letters we wanted to issue for the tenants related to different things like excessive vehicle in year and payouts and all those things. We just wanted to have Christmas passed, and then in the new year we were told to put the letters out. So that's what we're doing right now. We will be giving everybody 3 months of time to take care of all those things, and we will also offer assistance in terms of, let's say somebody has a car in their backyard doesn't work anymore and they really need some help in towing it. We will help as much as possible from and within our capacity. but please expect some communication to that we got online.
Mhm.
So anything else?
Thank you for coming in. Thank you. And you're not early.
Really, holy moly.
We'll take a 10-minute break and then we'll be back at 11. Well,
You can process your data. So this can give you the response. Let's see. So I need to book the flight right away. My flight is right after the bounce meeting. List of travel below. How
Popular demand. Thank you. So we're back until 11:40. Then again, just to remind everybody, we're back in camera, so live feed will be stopped. So we have education from 11 to 11:40. Chelsey, you have the table.
Hi, thanks for meeting me again. Yeah, it's just like, we have an education committee. So our next education committee meeting will be Thursday, January 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. Yesterday was the CNC MOU discussion. We just had a really beautiful meeting with CNC and UNBC. So on March, where is it? I'm here. We are planning an event called Local Education Pathways to Learning to try to bring both institutions together. So I booked the House of Ancestors for March 15th, and we're creating an event kind of from like the idea of family development, where they have been so successful in gathering the community in such a beautiful space. I kind of took that idea in the hopes to build the interest in local pathways with both institutions, because I know education needs to become more visible and more involved in the community. So I was thinking with the feedback you have given regarding that, I came up with that idea. So it's called Local Education Pathways to Learning. The hall is booked. I'm going to be reviewing the menu with Crystal today. UNBC, I was wondering where the MOU is with UNBC, because we are still receiving invoices for multiple of our students, and I have still been putting them forward. And I had another question from one of our students. Can I say names? Ready for that? Okay. So one of our students, I didn't know how to answer that question, so I just encouraged her to pay that fee, and then we can look at that once we have the final papers from UNBC. So I was wondering if there was an update.
Is there any way we can communicate with our liaison with UNBC before we tell the student to pay?
Okay, so I did already tell her. I did already advise her to tell her, because she did tell me that she was very worried about her classes being dropped. I did try to reassure her that she wouldn't be dropped. I did contact the registrar's office, but just for her own anxiety and stress, I encouraged her to pay it, and then that we can work on getting reimbursement, because she was so worried about being dropped. That was one of the only things I could offer to relieve some of the stress.
Sorry, Krishna.
I do have an email from Panina Harding, and so Panina had said Marlena and Jeff shared the following update with her. The MOU was approved by the UNBC Board of Governors in October, and the effective date is January 1st, 2025.
Okay.
So those should all be.
Do we have any new papers that
So do you want
follow up?
do you want to share it with
So what I'll do is I'll follow up on this email and I'll add you to it.
Okay. And then I can I'll sit with the finance team and get any invoices that we've received from UNBC. Are we going to be getting that money back?
So I have got a service. So if a student is approved, normally what we do, we pay the tuition fee as well, right?
Yes.
So it is easier for UNBC to reimburse to the bank instead of the students, because they put credit on the students, right? They prefer to do that. So council member, I would recommend, so if there is a situation like this, so I would recommend to pay it from the bank instead from asking the student to pay it off.
Okay.
So we can do it in organizational level that, hey, we paid you, so pay us back.
Okay. So I will so that one student that did pay it, I'll put that forward as a reimbursement. And I am moving forward with any
So
other
the student already paid?
She did, because she was so stressed about it. She was really, really stressed. She got threatened about getting dropped. So my initial to kind of calm her was pay that fee and then we'll work on the reimbursement so she doesn't lose. Yeah, because she was very stressed out. So the education committee, which is really good. The Pody Day, so we've been working as every month there's a Pody Day. So we've been hosting cooking classes, which has been really fun. We had a good turnout last month, and this month the kids have requested chocolate cake and pizza. So we're going to be making pizza. That will be happening on Monday, January 27th. We're also planning another engagement session with CNC for January 24th. It's a laser tag engagement. We have quite a bit of interest. We actually have 4 grade 12 students signed up and 2 other grade 11 students. Yes, the UNTC Local Pathways to Learning is in full motion for planning the post-secondary partnership program with the help of with Zawad and Tandy. We have lots of movements. We will be meeting with Barry Seymour next Friday here at the Health Center, and the ECCL team is coming here to meet him. And Troy Warren is still our main contact, and he's been such a great support. Tutoring, so we did repost a tutoring position, and I've had 1 applicant, so I've been working with HR. I'm really hoping to have a tutor for the education department by the month of February. So the way I'm envisioning that is like last year, having a tutor for each side once a week. So whether that be Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Beverly and I will be supporting the tutor as well.
So the tutor is like a bank member or like from outside?
So the posting, we don't have anyone applied that is a band member. We did have a band member that applied last year. She was great. I did reach out to her in the hopes that she would apply again, and I haven't had any feedback, no response or anything.
Okay, so we need to do the due diligence here. Please complete all police check, university check, criminal and vulnerable sector check, everything. Every check needs to be completed.
Absolutely. So I'm really excited about that. I hope to have the tutor services. We also have a really great partnership with Bolen. We have quite a bit of students that are using that service. It's been really, really good. And I'm grateful for that, because at least we have that service. It's been really hard to find a tutor that can build relationship with our students. I think that's that needs to be the prime focus for the tutor, because if they can't make the connection with our students, how are they going to learn from the tutor? We are going to be supporting the youth and elder gathering again, which will be taking place in May of 2025. We are also supporting the Weaving Words. I'm not going to say the traditional name there because I don't have my pronunciation just right. So out of respect for our language, I won't be saying that word. But Weaving Words, so we are supporting this, which has been really good. We've been in support with Robert Boda from UNBC, and we're just waiting on their finalization of the poster, and we'll be circulating that to the village. They have some really great keynote speakers. Camille Campbell, who is a poetry and a photographer from Saskatchewan, will be here. So I'm really excited, and I hope we can get some of LTFN members there. Local education meetings, we don't have any meetings this month because the school district is just in the transition of switching semesters, but they have been really good. We've had a lot of positive meetings this year. And something I would like to talk about today, again, is the incentive program. We have a big group of students that aren't attending school. One of our students last year didn't attend school for 110 days. Typically, there's only 170 to 180 school days in a school year. So with the feedback that you guys have given me previously from the 2 previous meetings, and with Zawad's feedback, thinking about how I can create this from a more wholesome perspective. Something that I've been doing in local education meetings is, when I'm learning about attendance, is offering our Indigenous grad coaches gift cards to our students. So if the students are coming, they have the opportunity to sit with their Indigenous guide coach, and if they can make the plan of, if you come to school every day this week, you'll get a $25 gift card. We've had a lot of positive feedback from that. 2 of our students are now regularly attending school and going to math class. So I'd like to see how we can roll out this incentive program, and how do you guys envision this? Because the gift cards have been really good for the students, and I think it's also a good way to not overload our finance team if we were to do a money monthly thing. I know some nations do a monetary incentive, but I'm not sure if that would necessarily work.
Yeah, that's, remember when we had that issue a while back with students not going? Well, because, it wasn't only because they didn't want to, it was also because there was a lot of, this and that within the school system itself. So that's all ironed out now, but I think the issue is that, right now it's just like the buses too, like this morning. I think that's a big issue because I think that really throws the students off because the bus comes when they want to and they're always late, so they get in trouble when they get to school for being late, even though it was the bus driver that made them late. And there's a lot of stuff around it I don't think it's the students. I think it's something more. It has, it just throws them off from not wanting to go because, my two grandkids specifically told me yesterday, why should we go to school if they don't care, that the bus makes us late and we try to tell them it's not us and, like we get in trouble for it. And then I told them, I said, well, that's why you speak up and you tell them, and they go, we tell them, and the bus driver is really rude to them and everything too.
Just a question actually, regarding the numbers that you're given. Is that just for on reserve students?
Is it for the incentive program or for the attendance? Both. Both. It's a challenge on reserve and off reserve. It's a challenge. The bus is an ongoing challenge. I can say more about that maybe off camera. There's having concerns. I just mentioned to Zawad in the hallway, but I think that's a further conversation. Attendance is a huge thing. It's been really huge. I like. I'm kind of at the point where I'm going to be knocking on some Southside residents and be like, "Hey, you're making it to school today!" Because I think and with the bus, we do have the express bus. I'm waiting for the approval to. I've just sent that to Ayansola this morning. We do have the new express bus with the new routes, so I'm hoping. But I think the bus issue is a bigger conversation because there's multiple red flags.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So my question about the
no, well, I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, I think.
No, just the whole bus thing.
Oh, the bus. We'll continue that in the email.
Yeah.
So I have a quote. Sorry. With this incentive program, I was thinking about it. Family development has been so successful with family nights, and we have been, since I've been employed, I've been really supporting those nights. And Beverly and I were talking and discussing maybe this is a really good night to create a check-in for our students. So Beverly and I will be there, and then whatever student is there, they just do a simple check-in with Beverly and I, and they'll get a little what are they called? Those little slips, not slips, tickets. They'll get a ticket. And then, so for a grand prize, which will then be drawn at the education year-end celebration.
No.
So so whoever attends, whatever student attends family night to do a check-in, for the rest of the year, they'll get that little ticket. And then at the end of the year, we'll do the grand prize.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking to separate it. So the high school students would have their own grand prize, and the elementary school students would have their own grand prize.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that sounds interesting.
If you guys agree, I would like to move forward with that because January 31st is our next family night.
Yeah. Does family development know usually?
No.
But they don't. They get so many kids coming in all of a sudden.
But family development,
that is good though. Yeah, the more better. Yeah,
It's getting bigger.
Yeah, that would be so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So family development is where that everyone and I will be supporting, and we're offering books. So we'll have quite a few books for all level of readers.
Mm-hmm.
The gift cards that you give out, you give them out to. Do they know that they're planning? Do they?
Yeah.
Does it have to ask their shows a DIA status card or?
So the gift cards are offered to the LEA students. So all the LEA students that we meet and talk about are LEA students. So that's who the gift cards are offered to. Is the students that we meet about the meetings.
Is there an incentive for those LTN kids that attend school?
Thinking about that, I've been thinking about that as well, because I think it's important to make it as inclusive as we can. And that's kind of where I'm kind of running into like hiccups about the incentive program, because we also need to uphold the ones that are doing the hard work.
Yeah.
Or showing up.
Mhm. And yeah, so I don't really know how to think about that. Do you have any ideas, Madeline?
It would be all in for check-in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that it would have to be the LTN student that comes in to say, "Hi, Chelsey, how are you? I'm here today, and here's my check in." And
Mhm.
couldn't we do that for all kids? For them to
enter.
into or to get a gift card, like that way it's not pointing fingers at those that are not in school, but it's inclusive to everybody. So any student shows up and
Absolutely.
once a month to get a card.
Yeah.
Josh?
Yeah, that just looking at it from the education background, I think it'd be good to have almost like a scaffolding approach to it.
Okay.
So the first step is making sure that the kids get to school, right?
Yeah.
Once they start getting to school, we say, okay, we're gonna push you a little more. You're gonna go from, what is it? How do they do the grading now? So you can see it's like emerging, right? To start getting grades,
right.
now you have to get to here, and then you have to get to here. So we're pushing our kids to their furthest potential.
Yes.
Right, so that's scaffolding, so that the kids that are attending can still have to increase there, and that way make sure everybody has that opportunity to become the best they can be.
Yeah, I like that too, because then you're right, because then you're also giving them that incentive outside of the school to actually achieve that achievement of scaffolding upwards rather than going backwards.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Because anybody could go just for the ticket, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like there's no precautions or whatever. You just show up and get your ticket. And
They have to show up to school.
yeah. Oh yeah, I know
It's
that.
not just show up at the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why did I misunderstood that?
It's my. I'm as you can see from my record.
Okay, I see.
Show
now.
the attendance record. I like that idea.
Yes, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes it more legit too. Yeah, because what I was thinking was you show up at family night, you go there, hi, I'm checking in, and then 2 minutes later sneak out the side door. Right?
Yeah, because I know it changes with high school. So in elementary school, they do the attendance in the morning and then after lunch.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, they do it per class, but if they show up in the morning, then that red flag isn't raised till the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you could say, I was there in the morning, but don't show. So if you actually have your attendance, you just skip the middle of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can create like a poster around this with like the introduction of the check-in at family nights, and then bring your attendance record. And I think that's really good too, because it takes off from Beverly and I and puts it more back on the students.
Yeah.
The responsibility on the students.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we used to have to submit the attendance records regularly back in the day. When these guys were young people.
What are you saying? I mean, 2 years ago.
So next Friday, we have a meeting with the ECCL team from CNC to come to meet Barry and I here in the health center. So we're really excited about that. Any questions or concerns about your education department? No?
I'll send that email.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Can you hold this call?
Yeah, okay, Adam and community members, we're done early, so we'll be in camera for the rest of the afternoon. And thank you all and be careful out there, it's very icy.
Have a good, safe weekend.